The controversy surrounding the collection of value-added tax just got deeper as governors of the South-South region have now resolved to join the suit filed by the Rivers State government against the federal government and Federal Inland Revenue Service. Now, they're challenging the collection of value-added tax by states. This, among others, other issues, formed the crux of their recent meeting in Port Harcourt, capital of Rivers State. Uchokoro brings us update in this report, and it contains.
First to arrive at the Rivers State Government House was the Governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki. He was received by Governor Nyesom Wike. The Governor of Delta State and Chairman of the South-South Governors Forum, Ifeanyi Okowa, arrived next. He was followed by the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Emmanuel Udom. Moments later, the Bayelsa State Governor Doye Diri arrives. Governor Ben Ayadi of Cross River State, the only member of the All Progressives Congress in the South-South region, was absent and did not send a representative. After about 4 hours in a closed-door meeting, the governors emerged with their resolutions. In reaction to the violent attacks and killings in parts of the country, the governors signed off on the establishment of a regional security outfit. They also declared support for states as the legitimate entity to demand and collect value-added tax, not the federal government.
One, bearing in mind that most of the great states have established their state security organs, we approve the regional security architecture, which will be launched very soon. Two, unequivocally supports the decision for states to collect value-added tax and resolve to join the suit before the Supreme Court.
The governors also pushed for another amendment of the Petroleum Industry Act that was signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari in August 2021.
Council urged the President and the National Assembly to take necessary measures to review some unfair aspects of the recently signed Petroleum Industry Bill Now Act to ensure fairness and equity. It urged that the amendment should include a clear definition of host communities and that the trustees should be appointed by state governments.
The governors also discussed the controversy surrounding the Niger Delta Development Commission, calling on the presidency to immediately constitute a board for the interventionist agency. Uche Okoro, TVC News, Port Harcourt.
All right, that's the background to our discussion in the next couple of minutes. Lawyer and social development advocate Jide Ologu joins me now to make sense of all of this. Jide, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Thank you very much.
Great. Now, there are areas I wouldn't want us to delve into because the VAT issue is in court, but for the sake of enlightening our people, just to create knowledge and insight, we see that there has been a scramble for resources between the federal government and states when it comes to the VAT. But I wonder why this issue is so controversial.
You know, if you look at the judgment of the Federal High Court in Rivers State, the Honorable Justice mentioned the element of equity. And if you check again, constitutionally, value-added tax is not on the exclusive legislative list. And if Rivers State has legislated on it, that she has the constitutional right, then it should be allowed because the court is there to support the rule of law. In fact, the Honorable Justice went as far as saying that he is also trying to prevent the huge burden of indebtedness on the federal government for collecting value-added tax over the years illegally. And if you have monitored all the conversations, it brings us back to Section 17 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, that says that the social order upon which our relationship will be based will be freedom, justice, and equity.
And equity.
So it's all about equity here now. And I have also said from the governance angle that I think NNPC started this also. The NNPC manages a dominant natural resource in Nigeria that should drive over 90% of our revenue. But the NNPC came out recently to announce that there may be zero remittance to the Federation accounts from where state governments get allocation to manage their states. And naturally, you expect, by the instinct of survival, that states will begin to look out. And Governor Wike, being a learned colleague, started searching and realized that we can find a leeway here. And he has gone to court, and the court looked at it from the angle of law and equity. And that gap in the Constitution has not been denied. Though there was a decision of the Supreme Court on, I think, 8th of December 2017, the battle between value-added tax collected by Federal Inland Revenue and sales tax collected by Lagos State. So a huge hospitality concern went to court, and it went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled then that the value-added tax collected by FIRS covers the field of consumption sales tax. And Lagos State must bow to that. But nobody looked at the constitutional aspect of it, and that is why the National Assembly started moving in the direction of capturing it by reviewing the Constitution. So by and large, we need to ask a big question. What is the essence of tax? Tax is a huge source of revenue mobilization. Why do you need revenue? That takes us to Section 14, subsection 2 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, that says that the security and the welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. So if you want to do what we call returns on investment, because value-added tax has mobilized a lot of funds for the federal government, you know, through FIRS, then you ask the simple question: do we have the security? Do we have the good welfare that should have been provided? And it is argued in the tax generation, let me use that expression, that it is my responsibility to pay tax. Of course, it's even obligatory, I understand. But having done that also, it's my privilege to enjoy the benefits of the tax. And again, looking at it, the value-added tax came into being by Decree 102 of 1993, now an act of Parliament. And it was a way of trying to rejig the tax regime of the nation. And even the IMF was amazed by the huge result that the country recorded. A lot of money comes in. So the big question now going forward is that how do we ensure that the Commonwealth is for the common good? Even with the victory in Rivers State through Governor Wike, there are still some technical areas to consider in effectively implementing the value-added tax. And you can now see Lagos has joined, some others, the South states are joining, and the northern governors, including the Attorney General of the Federation, are now teaming up with the Federal Inland Revenue, and that can be explained. While this was going on, a stakeholder in Gobe started begging Lagos and Rivers that be your brother's keeper. And the argument now between the governors is that for how long do we be the brother's keeper, you know, if what we get in return, for example, is banditry propagation, if we cannot flow in the same direction. So I see another dichotomy now, the absence of synchronizing efforts to develop Nigeria, which takes us back to the concept of equity. And this did not start now. in 1953, you recall the Kano riot of May 1, 1953. Exactly. It was prompted because Chief Enaho removed the motion in the Southern Parliament that, we need to be independent of the colonial masters. The Northern stakeholders said, no, we are not ready. That led to the Kano riot. And today, we appear not to have agreed on running on the motto of the country, constitutionally enshrined, that says that we shall operate based on unity, faith, peace, and progress. And that is why you now see the likes of the governor of Kaduna State saying that some laws cannot be, the anti-open grazing law cannot be implemented. You concern yourself with Kaduna State. You see, so, and right now, I'm so excited. I'm so happy. You see, many people made restructuring so technical, and it appeared like a complicated subject. But that is what is happening now. Now let's look at the let's look at our resources.
All of these are just elements of the restructuring. What's finding its own level?
Let's have value.
Okay.
Let's enjoy this country together. You see, because while this value-added tax issue is going on, the issue of the Petroleum Industry Act that just came out is also on the table. You see, some governors are saying that, the Federal Ministry of Finance and the Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources cannot exclusively be in charge of the company that will come out of the PIA. That let the sovereign authority be in charge so that everybody will benefit. The argument is still there that the 3% to the host community cannot compare to 30% to the frontier community. Frontier community means you are prospecting for oil. You have not found it. So you get 30%. And 3% is for where you have found it. And I have explained this, that if you go to Rwanda, there is peace in Rwanda because the host communities, basically in the tourism industry, they enjoy a lot from the resources that come in. So right now, as these governors flex their muscles, they should realize that the only solution to this the umpires and exciting drama is to go back and sit down and ask a simple question. What are the elements of good governance? And begin to implement them. Because right now, whether we like it or not, the North is pitched against the South. So, and the restructuring has started. Because other questions are coming up now. That, okay, what do I even get from the Federation account? What do I contribute into it? Why should Kano State make a law forbidding open sale of alcohol? Why should I not be able to make a law forbidding open cattle rearing? So you now see, and again, when you go to the public relations angle, you talk about image and reputation. The federal government now appears to be regional in operations. If you look at the things happening, because like Governor Akeredolu said, you guys that are in our forest, come and register. Let's get in touch with your activities. Stop these criminal activities. The Attorney General of the Federation was quick to come out and say, no, anybody can stay in any part of the country. I agree with that. But can I stay in any part of the country, be killing people, raping people, destroying their businesses? No, that is not a constitutional provision. So right now, there are a lot going on in Nigeria to rejig the template of governance. Now,
with this, of course, when it comes to the issue of value-added tax, it's a socio-economic issue that originally should be in that domain. But with the pitching of the North versus South in the approach to it, seem to be a little more political now. Why is it turning to the dimension of politics when this is originally an economic issue?
Everything is political. As long as you are interested in what goes on in your community, whether it's at micro level or macro level, you are in politics. You are in politics. And some are concerned that while some regions love education, love industrialization, a region hates education. These are issues.
Can we categorically say that a region hates education?
You see, you don't need to go to Harvard Business School to to realize that you express love for what you condone. It's glaring. It's glaring. So we need to come to that point when we agree on how do we move forward. My big brother, the United Arab Emirates discovered oil in 1958. But look at the concept of unity, United Arab Emirates. And that region has been transformed from a desert to a paradise, in quote, because of the rightful engagement of the resources. Meaningful leadership. Now, you just asked me a question. Why should some people rise up and be defending bandits? Do you know the definition of bandit? A bandit is a member of a gang of robbers operating in a lawless society. Are we now saying that if we go theoretical, that Nigeria has become a lawless society where bandits even demand for ransom from government, you know, where bandits mobilize billions of naira from ransom, kill people? Recently, the father of the Speaker of the House of Assembly in Nigeria died in the hands of bandits. Kings have been kidnapped. I don't want to come up with the figures of the souls that have been wasted. Boko Haram has graduated into Islamic States of West Africa province. There was a report recently that about 18 wards in Niger State are under the control of Boko Haram. So where exactly are we going? So we now, at a point, it was a reluctant assignment for a journalist to make reference to those who were killing as headers. But today, government even comes out with report, headers killing people somewhere, a socio-economic group coming out to threaten that laws made in some states cannot be implemented. So do you now claim that that state is not lawless?
All right.
So these are all the issues. And if we don't handle this carefully, it may lead to regions demanding that, okay, let's define our values. If our values cannot match, then how can we please have a way out? Because whether you like it or not, the plant will gravitate towards the light given by sunshine. And that is exactly what is going on in Nigeria now. I'm excited that it's no longer a discussion at the gates of the common man. It's now in the palace of governors. You can see them. Because I have always said it, the insecurity of one is the insecurity of all.
Of all, exactly. So the point there is government's reluctance in taking the steps towards ensuring a true federalism. The natural course of things are trying to, one way or the other, beat the system into that. Well, we'll see how things are going. We look forward to a peaceful and a more prosperous Nigeria. Jide Logun, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Mike, and God bless Nigeria.
Thank you.